Welcome to week 10 Wide Right College Football Live Edition. Once again, we've been live all year. No pre-records this year so far. And the way we're going, we're going to keep it that way. I'm joined, as always, Hunter. Hunter, say hi.
Howdy.
He's stuffing his face. And we have kind of a unique week this week. Lindsay's not going to be with us this week. And Jude, we'll only get Jude for a few minutes. But we'll take it. Before we do that, we always start every Wide Right CFB show with our salute to the service academies. And today is no different. We're going to start off with Lindsay's team, the Merchant Marine Academy. Now, the Merchant Marine Academy played away last week, and they lost to Springfield in Springfield, Mass, 35-7. Now, unique thing, they don't play again until November 8th, which is their senior day, and they play Wooster Polytechnical Institute, as Lindsay likes to laugh at me when I say Wooster. So look for the Merchant Marine Academy to score a big W versus WPI. And then the following week, which is coming up pretty soon, a couple weeks away, November 15th, the neutral site game, what they call the Secretary's Cup between the Coast Guard Academy and the Merchant Marine Academy. So that's coming up soon. Only 2 games left for Coast Guard or Merchant Marine Academy until they take on the Coast Guard Academy. Or, they only got 2 games left. So that's something interesting to go by. Now, with that said, I'm kind of delaying here because what's going to happen is in our pick'em breakdown here, our head-to-head matchup, we have all 3 of the major service academies in that pick'em. So we're going to kind of just cover these 2 and salute the Service Academy, and then we're going to hop right into the pick'em. All right, coming off another victory, the battle for the mug versus Norwich. The Coast Guard Academy got the big W, scoring 59 points and only giving up 28. It was a good game. They're led by, like I said last week, a lot of young talent. There's a lot of young guys on this team. I'll give you some passing totals here. Sean Burns completed 13 passes for 172 yards, and then Derek Gibney completed 1 pass for 13 yards, so they played 2 quarterbacks, but they're a ground attack. So, with that said, that was a solid victory. I'll give you some rushing stats real quick. Harrison Hensley had 204 yards he was averaging 8.2 yards carry with 3 tutters. Patrick Glenn had 44 yards, averaging 8.8 yards a carry with 1 tutter. And then the other running back had 30 yards. They play a good team. They play good defense, play good football. So I didn't watch it. I don't have Flow Sports, but we're still pulling for them. All right, on to our head-to-head. Let's see if I can get this to populate here. Nobody's joining us so far. Goose egg. Alrighty, let's get over to our weekly schedule. So Wednesday night, we had a game between Jacksonville State and Middle Tennessee, and it took Jacksonville State the entire game to come back and win that versus Middle Tennessee. And it was good because all the panel picked Jacksonville State, so we all start the week off 1-0. Now, currently, Tulane is getting shelled by UTSA like 41-26. That game could change, but I don't think so. The panel took Tulane, so the curse of the panel is coming to fruition. So we're going to get on to our third game of the week, and that features number 25, Memphis, traveling to Houston to take on the Rice Owls. Now, Memphis is a 13.5-point favorite. Vegas is 48.5 points to play the game. Jude and Lindsay both took Memphis. Hunter took Memphis. I went on the outside, and I said, I'm taking the home team. Home team's going to not only cover, they're going to win. So I'm taking the Rice Owls. Let's see if Hunter wants to pop in here in a second.
Speed eating. Yeah, I think Memphis is on my slate of like the million away teams that I took this week, because when you look at it, like statistically, heads up, analytics, like Memphis is a better team. I'm not feeling great about any of my away team picks because I think I picked like the majority of the games are the away teams, which, if you know anything about football, just doesn't usually happen in a week. The majority of away teams don't usually win.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to text Jude real quick. He just texted me.
All right. Well, while he fills in, I'm going to allay you with my wonderful comedy. No, kidding. I think our next game up is going to be. I want to get this right, so I'm going to look at the order of things.
Penn State at Ohio State. Number 1, Ohio State. This is the beauty of live. When you're live, you always have live things pop up. Jude says he's trying to hop on, but he's got to work. That's fine. We've been wanting to record so we can get Jude for a full show, but work comes first. I don't blame him. We're going to try to do something. We also have Macho Man and Hulk we got to get a hold of. So,
yeah, I mean, and Mean Gene, phones straight to heaven.
Well, at least 2 of the 3 lines go to heaven.
Well.
Nobody knows about that Mean Gene guy. Not sure about him.
Ohio State and Memphis.
10 weeks ago, this was must-watch TV. This week, I think Ohio State wins by about 3 million points. Ohio State's favored by 19.5. They cover this. No, Penn State is awful.
I will say for Ohio State, the slow playing everything, like Penn State stinks, but you're gonna this is their best shot they'll have for the rest of the season. They're gonna throw everything they have at you, the kitchen sink, every blitz package they've ever come up with, every play. They're gonna probably play at 1,000,000 miles an hour just to try and just be as asymmetric as possible. So you're just gonna have to be real close, real good, and maybe play with some more speed than you have this season.
Oof, I don't know. It's not looking favorable for Penn State, this matchup. The backup quarterbacks, backup offensive line, backup defensive playmakers. It really feels like a one-legged man showing up to a butt-kicking contest here. I'm going to go with Ohio State. Hunter's going with Ohio State. Everybody on the board's going with Ohio State. Hunter, you're not wanting to change your pick at this point, are you? No, that would be no. All right, our number 5 game of the week features the number 9 Vanderbilt Commodores traveling to the number 20 Texas Longhorns at 11 a.m. on ABC. That's the American Broadcasting Channel. This game happens at 11 a.m. from DKR Texas Memorial Stadium in beautiful Austin, Texas. I'm hyping it. I live in Austin. I love it.
It's also just a really great place, but
the stadium's awesome. I can't lie. The stadium's awesome. I got to visit another stadium this week. If you go follow us on Instagram at Wide Right CFB, you'll see where I was at. Eat them up. Texas is a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5 points. There's not a lot of love for Texas right now after the rocky kind of season they've had, but they're still 5-2. They're 4-1, or they're 3-1 in conference, 2-1 in conference, whatever it is. Who knows? Vanderbilt's undefeated. They're coming in. They're They're hot-handed. Everybody is picking Vanderbilt. I am picking Texas. Hunter, who are you picking?
I don't have good reason for it. Fucking damn it.
Gosh darn it.
I don't have good reason for it. But especially with Texas maybe having their backup quarterback or Arch Manning coming off concussion protocol, like neither is particularly what you want, right? You want your healthy starter. But it's kind of those styles make matchups games. It's at home. Texas hasn't got to play at home in a month, especially if you think about the OU game isn't at home. It's in Dallas. Just because they wore orange jerseys, it's not the same thing, especially because I've never been to the Cotton Bowl, but I know that DKR can get blistering hot even in the winter. So it's very different. So we'll see. But I'm going to roll with Texas here.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Texas. I think they learned a lot over the last 2 weeks. They learned a lot about themselves, and they're a salty team.
If Vanderbilt kicks the ball to Ryan Niblett, they're asking to lose.
Yeah, do not punt the Ryan Niblett. If he scores another,
actually, please do.
Yeah,
but...
please punt. Yes, please. If he scores a couple more kick returns, you can start throwing his name in the Heisman race because the way I look at it is punt return is so hard because special teams is so you're only on the field one play, right? It's not like offense where you're on the field 50 plays or defense you're on the field 50 plays. These are all just numbers; they're not actual numbers. But you got to think about it, just the amount that they're on the field versus that. It's impressive stuff. I know he's not the Heisman. I know everybody from A&M's like, Marcel Reed is a Heisman contender. Please. I kid because I care. All right. Jude and Lindsay, they're going Vanderbilt. They don't believe in Texas. I'm good with that. If Hunter wanted to take Vanderbilt, I wouldn't blame him. I'm taking Texas because I think Texas has come off the mat. They have rebounded. They're going to have a great game this week. I'm taking Texas to win by 17 points. Hook 'em horns. Luckily, you're on mute, so I can't hear you.
I don't know about 17 points. I'll roll with 3.
Hey, I'm taking 17 points because why not, right?
I mean, I would be. You could convince me that only 17 points were scored in this game.
That could be a possibility. 17-0, Texas. There you go. Boom, done.
Okay.
All right, our number 6 game of the week features the number 10 Miami Hurricanes versus the unranked My Little Ponies of SMU. This game happens at 11 a.m. on ESPN from Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas, Texas. The Hurricanes are favored by -10.5. Vegas is 50.5 to play the game. The panel has taken Miami, except for me. I am taking the Mustangs at home. I like this game for several reasons. Number one, the Mustangs have been hot and cold all season long. It seems like they have a really off game, and then the next week they play out of their minds great. So I'm going to kind of lean on that, just that wishy-washy behavior they've shown. I don't know that Miami plays this game well. Miami may come out and blow SMU out of the water. I don't think so. I'm taking the Ponies to win. Hunter, why are you taking the Canes? Okay. Back to Cass.
You caught me right in the middle of putting food in my mouth. I'm taking Miami because Wake Forest showed that if you slow the game down and you force SMU to get away from their high attack rate offense, which is really kind of like spread wing tee type stuff. You could get into it, but not really important right now. But SMU likes to run a lot of plays. SMU averages a pretty high rate of play. Miami is very willing to kind of like measure itself and slow games down and speed them up as necessary. We saw it against Notre Dame. As Notre Dame's offense was clicking, Miami started to slow down their rate of attack just to keep Notre Dame's offense out the field while still getting successful, efficient plays on the board. That's Mario Cristobal's style. That's what he's going to want to do. I think Miami's going to slow the game down. They're going to keep SMU's offense cold. And much like Wake Forest, they're going to keep it close. And I don't think they're going to blow SMU out necessarily. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I don't think they will. Again, it's kind of tough to go on the road and win, especially against a good, well-coached team. But I think that with that,
they're crossing time zones.
Yep.
And they're playing the early game. Miami doesn't play a lot of early games, and this is a 10 a.m. game for them theoretically because it'll be 11 here. So
that's definitely a real thing. But I think, like I said, I think that Miami's going to slow the game down and kind of keep the ball out of SMU's hands and just kind of have a good, like, sit on top of your opponent win, 24-10.
Yep. All righty. We're going to go to our number 7 game of the week. This game on paper features a lot of hard-hitting action. It's not going to get a lot of appeal, but I think it's going to be a very physical game, very run-dominated game. I think it's going to be exciting to watch. I'm also glad that it's on network TV. And that's Rutgers at Illinois at 11 a.m. on NBC from Memorial Stadium in Champaign, Illinois. Illinois is favored by 11.5. The over-under on this is 61.5, so there is no defense expected to be played. But I will tell you this, the defense for both teams hits hard. The offense for both teams hits hard. I know I want to lean Rutgers, but I just haven't seen enough out of Rutgers this season, enough consistency to go and say they're going to beat a Brett Bielema coach team. Brett Bielema is going to have these guys ready to go. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think the defense is going to be a little more physical than Rutgers' offense. I think that Illinois not only wins, but they go ahead and they cover that and take the over. Hunter, what are your thoughts on this?
It's kind of the same thing. I love the hitmen of Rutgers. I'm a big Greg Schiano guy. I like the culture of that team, the culture of that school, the spirit of what they have. It's good. They know their brand of football. They play it well. But it's just hard to pick them when it's such a hard game to look at a Rutgers team this year. That's like they don't have a Kyle Manun guy or a quarterback that's really like crushing it. They have a good team. They don't have like a team that has like a great player on it that transcends football to where I can go and say, yeah, you're going to line up against a more talented, more experienced Illinois team and beat them. Will they be better coached than Illinois? I could buy that. But I just think Illinois is just a bit better in some key areas, and they're going to come away with the win. I don't think they're going to blow out Rutgers. I think it'd be like a 7-point victory. I call it 28-21.
Jude and Lindsay also took Illinois. So if you believe in the curse of Wide Right CFB, congratulations, Rutgers, on the win.
Well, Tulane got hit with it.
Yeah. Well, Tulane.
Come on, the game's over. 20 points ain't happening.
Yeah, they gave up another touchdown. It's 48 to 25. Oof. Not bueno for the panel. The curse of Wide Right CFB is real. Alrighty, our number 8 game of the week. And about 6 weeks ago, this was keyed as probably a top 25 matchup. Today, not so much. We have the Blue Devils of Duke traveling to, I want to say Columbia, South Carolina, but that's not it. They're traveling to
South Carolina.
Clemson, South Carolina, to take on the Clemson Tigers. This game's happening at 11 a.m. on the ACC Network. Clemson's the 3.5-point favorite. Vegas is 54.5 points. Play the game. I think that's probably an accurate cover for Clemson to only win by 3.5. 54.5 points. Have you seen these teams play? I don't know that we're getting 54.5 points. Is Klubnik playing this week? Is he healthy again?
I don't know. I don't know
I hate
that
to say
it
that.
matters.
Actually, better with the other guy.
Yeah, Christian Vizina looked pretty good.
Well, until he started getting hit.
Well, offensive line stinks, so he's going to get hit.
Yeah, it's going to get tested. We'd like to call that tested.
I mean, we need to run the numbers, but if your team majority of the time wears orange, your offensive line this year probably sucks.
Tennessee?
Well,
they did get blasted by Alabama.
And Georgia, kind of.
okay.
Auburn stinks.
Auburn
they were orange.
Stinks. Sometimes.
Texas O-line, it stinks. Maybe other parts of the team, okay. Clemson's O-line stinks. Syracuse O-line stinks.
Well, Syracuse has had. If you had to pick an unlucky, if there's a wheel and 99% was lucky, and there was a sliver that said unlucky, that's Clemson or that's Syracuse.
One thing about Syracuse, I have to ask. Since their coach says winners get washed, how bad does he stink right now?
Man, he's got his wife is probably like, dude.
Do the players
seriously.
have to pick him up and drag him into the Hudson just to get a shower?
Coach, we want a scrimmage at practice. Please take a shower. I'm a big Fran Brown guy. I think Fran Brown's a tremendous coach. That is, man, what an unlucky situation. All right. Hunter's going with Duke. I'm taking Clemson. Jude and Lindsay are both taking Clemson. I think Clemson is just. I don't believe in Duke's coach. I had the Manny Diaz experience here in Austin.
Guy.
No, not a Manny Diaz guy. I'm just going to lean. I'm going to lean Clemson in this game. I'll take it Clemson to cover, but not by more than that 3.5. What do you think, Duke? Do you think the quarterback's going to be the difference in the game?
Darian Mensah certainly played like the better quarterback this year. I still think Cade Klubnik is a good quarterback. I don't know if that's just rose-colored glasses or because I saw him live and in person more than once. But certainly he played great last year. I just have no idea. But it's more that I think in today's college football, when it rains, it pours, especially when it comes to losing. So I don't know that Clemson gets off the schneid with this one. They could. I could see it. But I'm
with that said,
roll with Duke.
Let's roll to our number 9 game of the week since we're rolling. And that features the University of Central Florida at Baylor University at 11 a.m. ESPNU from McLean Stadium in Waco, Texas. Baylor's a 3.5-point favorite. Vegas has 60.5 points to play the game. Hunter's actually played on this field before.
Okay.
It's a nice field. Nice stadium.
I practiced on the field.
You warmed up. You warmed up on the field.
Yeah, I warmed up. I stood on the sidelines on the field.
Yeah, you stood on the sideline. You held down the pain on the sideline well. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Jude, Hunter, and Lindsay have all taken Baylor. Now, I took UCF, and I took UCF on general principle here, because every time I pick Baylor this year, they've lost. So I may be pulling for Baylor, but I'm picking UCF to win this game, because if I pick Baylor, L. I do like Baylor's quarterback, Sawyer Robertson. I think he's probably in the top 5 quarterbacks in the nation right now. The guy's just an offensive weapon. He plays on a really very poorly coached team. I'm going to take Scott Frost and UCF on the road. A lot of yards on the ground here. UCF's going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball efficiently. Baylor's going to get yardage in chunks. They're able to move the ball down the field at will. I think the 60.5 is probably a good over-under. I'd say that's probably going to be about the amount of points that are scored. You know, Baylor could win by that 3.5. UCF could cover by 1. I'm going to take the Golden Knights. Hunter, what's your assessment on Baylor?
Oh, I mean, a couple years ago when we did this, I was picking Scott Frost left and right, and then he got fired. So I kind of have to roll Baylor at this point. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, Lindsay and Jude have also taken Baylor, so we got a good disparity here. Okay, now here's a salute to the Service Academy game, but it's better known as a Commander-in-Chief game. Commander-in-Chief Cup game? Is that how they call it? Commander-in-Chief? What do they call that?
It was a Commander-in-Chief trophy.
Commander-in-Chief trophy game. And that features the Black Knights of the Hudson traveling to Colorado. That's the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado.
Colorado Springs.
I'm just drawing blanks all day today, son. I have no idea why.
It's all good.
Falcon
It's a
Stadium.
beautiful campus.
Oh, it's awesome. We've driven by it. It's you don't get much better than that. It is awesome. I wouldn't want to play a game there. You'd be out of breath. I wouldn't want to walk the stadium stairs there. Need an escalator. All right. So Army's traveling. It's 11 a.m. on CBS. Another network game. So that's pretty awesome to see. Army's favored by 1.5 points. Vegas is 49.5 points. I took Air Force. I said wrong team favored. Hunter said he's taking Army. He believes in a little more consistency there. Jude and Lindsay are also taking Air Force. I just watched Air Force play Navy, and I was like, man, I don't know how this team isn't better or how their record's not better. But I leaned Air Force. Their ability to score on explosive plays has got me believing that they're going to be able to outpoint Army. But Army's lost to like some really good teams. I mean, they lost to Tarleton State. Everyone's like, oh, Tarleton State. Is Tarleton State still undefeated last time I checked?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all you need to know. Hunter, why are you taking the Black Knights of the Hudson?
This is a little bit more of a hope than a real deal pick. One biggest thing is Air Force. The reason Air Force has lost their defense is just as poor as their offense is explosive. They have a lot of youth on defense, a lot of freshmen, which in Service Academy terms is not great because usually they're only about 145 pounds. I'm kidding. So it's just they don't have the defenders necessary to really compete this year. But, man, in a couple of years, they retained some of those offensive players. I don't know if they're all seniors or juniors or where they're at, but if some of those guys are young and they're around, they're as explosive now as they are, explosive later as they are now, they'll be a dangerous team again. But that's how it goes with Service Academies. Really, I'm going to go with Army, a little more consistent on the ball. And the thing is, if Air Force wins this game, Navy will retain the CIC. I hate that. I always like the CIC to be cited at Army, Navy. Nothing against Air Force. You're great. Whatever. I like the CIC to be decided at Army, Navy. So I'm hoping Army wins this game and then loses to Army, Navy. Anyway.
All right. Speaking of Navy, they play in our number 11 game of the week when they travel to Denton, Texas to take on the University of North Texas, the Mean Green here. UNT is favored by 6.5 points. Vegas is 65.5 points to play the game. Now, UNT has probably the highest scoring, most explosive offense in college football right now. Navy is coming into this game. They're kind of susceptible to high scoring. I think North Texas stands zero chance. I think Navy's defense is going to bow up this week and really shut down UNT. I'd look for Navy to win by probably 2 scores. Hunter, what are your thoughts on this?
It's kind of that. It's like I talk about you have 2 teams that are asymmetrical in how they play, but in very different ways. North Texas rolls with an air raid, run and shoot mix, and it's called raid and shoot. Anyway, offense, they're going to try to attack Navy on the edges and over the middle. I think what Navy's going to do well in this game is run the ball, keep possessions, lengthen the game, keep the ball out of Drew Meestemaker's hands, and drive them cold, and then score, be efficient in scoring. Like I said, that's what it's going to come down to for Navy. I believe they can do it. This is one of the best Navy teams I've seen play, so hopefully they keep it up and get a big win over North Texas. Go Navy.
Well, the board took North Texas, the board took Navy. So look for a exciting game. I'm taking Navy. I think Navy's just going to be able to control the clock over North Texas. North Texas may be able to score some points right away. Back when I coached, I had a little philosophy here. I never ran from speed. I ran right at it. And if I was going to play a team that scored a lot of points, I was going to slow the game down to take my best defense was my offense, because if I controlled time of possession, I controlled the number of plays that their offense runs, gives them less opportunities to score. So I would look for Navy to do something similar where they cut the time of possession. North Texas is going to get antsy, and they're going to try to hit big plays, and that's usually when you can get a couple turnovers, and you could really put an explosive team on the defense really fast, take their offense out of sync, take them out of rhythm. That would be my game plan heading in.
And importantly, is North Texas' first game against a triple option team in 2 years, which is a big deal.
Chronic T.
You caught me on it. It's still triple option philosophy. It's not true triple. It is the Drew Chronic wing T. It is true. It is the Drew Chronic wing T.
And it's a fantastic offense. More people should run it if they could.
I think you need Drew Chronic to run it.
Yeah, I mean,
and Blake Horvath and Eli Heinreich. Man, those guys are good.
Just, when it's 4th and long, you need to score a touchdown. The guy scores a touchdown. It's unreal. It's just unreal stuff. All right, our number 12 game of the week features the Arizona State Wildcats taking on, Sun Devils. I don't know. Why is my brain not working? Arizona State Sun Devils versus the Iowa State Cyclones. Now, in this game, something that everybody needs to know right now. The Arizona State quarterback is not going to play this week. He is out. He's in a walking boot again. It's going to be the backup quarterback in. I look for Iowa State to, like we talked about in the Navy North Texas game, to really go slow, take it slow, control the game pace, control the game clock. Now, Iowa State is susceptible to losing, but Jack Trice Stadium is not an easy place to play. Arizona State's going to figure that out right away. That is not an easy place to play. This game happens at 12 p.m. on TNT. This is a weird cable network game. You got to scroll through the listings to find it. But it happens at Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. Iowa State's favored by 7.5 points. Vegas has 50.5 to play the game. I took Iowa State. Hunter took Iowa State. Jude and Lindsay both took Arizona State. So we got a good head-to-head matchup here, Hunter.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience take a team playing Jeff Sims at quarterback.
French toast strudel sticks. What'd you say?
Yeah. I can't in good conscience take a team playing Jeff Sims at quarterback. They'd be better off with a punter played quarterback, much like when the Jets had Tom Tupa lead them to a close loss in that game in the 90s. He
threw the football like he was threading a sewing needle.
He threw for 300 yards. I don't know why he wasn't just the starter. Ended up he was better than Vinny Testaverde.
Because he hit a punt more in that game than they threw.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, I think Iowa State gets off the losing streak, or kind of off the negatives they come out, get a big win. They're going to run the ball and get win number 6 on their way to hopefully 9 wins for the old Cyclones.
Alrighty, our number 13 game of the week features a team that this is their first week in the featuring East Carolina Pirates. I don't think it's true. Actually, I think I had them in here a while back. Versus the Temple Owls, 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus from the link in Philadelphia. ECU's favored by 5.5 points. Vegas is 58.5 points to play the game. I'm saying wrong team favorite. Has anybody seen Temple play this year? Temple is a very well-coached team. They're very good. And if you don't believe me, go look at Sam Houston State last year versus Sam Houston State this year. Do you don't think Casey Keeler is a hell of a coach and doesn't know what he's doing? Go watch some tape. I got time. I haven't watched any East Carolina this year, Hunter. I think Temple wins this game. I think they win by a lot. I think next week Vegas is going to have a different thought on the Temple Owls. Hunter, you're on Temple. Jude and Lindsay are both going East Carolina. What do you think?
There's be a lot of passing yards in this game. You're going to see a lot of both teams are pass-heavy teams. East Carolina is more true blue. They're more Riley air raid topical. But Temple is more of a kind of like a pro style, pass heavy pro style with Casey Keeler, RPO heavy. I'm just going to go with Temple. It's in Philly. It's not a short distance for East Carolina, and Temple's played really well at home this year, and I think they're going to pull out a win. It's going to be a lot of passing yards, be a lot of points, but I like Temple in this one, especially if it's a high-scoring, close game. That's where I think Casey Keeler really shines. I would know. I've lost to him. You're done exactly.
All right, our number 14 game of the week features the number 16 Louisville Cardinal traveling to Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia, to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies at 2 p.m. on the CW Network. Now, Vegas says Louisville's favored by 10.5 points. Over-under is 53.5 points. Hunter, do you see any way that Virginia Tech keeps this interesting, or do they get blown out by the Hillbillies?
I mean, Virginia Tech could keep it interesting by, having the center play quarterback. If you mean score, no. I don't think Virginia Tech stays in the game at all. I think Louisville's going to ground and pound, and then over the top, they're going to kick their ass. It's going to be a beating.
If anybody has ever played like Jeff Brom, it would be Miller Moss. Minus the concussions, of course.
Yeah, Jeff Brom.
Do I have a pulse?
So much.
Yes.
Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Let's play football. Let me answer your question with two questions of my own. Do I not have a pulse? Yes, I do. Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Let's play football. I like Jeff Brom. He's a great coach. He may get paid a lot of money this year by a school. It may be Louisville. It may be Penn State. Who knows?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm going Louisville. The panel took Louisville on this one. Nobody believes in
the
Virginia Tech.
Especially
but I have heard an interesting name for Virginia Tech head coach. Have you heard the same name I've heard for Virginia Tech head coach?
Does it rhyme with Bames Franklin?
Yes, it does. James Franklin. That'd be a hell of a good grab for Va Tech. Hell of a good grab.
Especially because he recruits the heck out of the DMV.
Well, I'm a big James Franklin truther, although it didn't work out at Penn State. Hunter can attest to this. I was pretty broke up about him losing his job. I was really, I wasn't upset, I wasn't boo-hooing, but I was like, man, I was really down in the dumps. I think Penn State. I have an opinion on Penn State. I'm not going to share it right now. It'll be for another show. But I have an opinion of
Tell me how you feel the 1969 national championship race.
All right. With that said, we're moving on to game number 15 of the week, and I am proud as pudding to have this game in as our number 15 game of the week, and that's New Mexico, the Lobos, taking on the Running Rebs from UNLV. Now, this game happens at 2 p.m. There is no TV on this game. None. No TV. I cannot believe there's no TV on this, but this game happens at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. UNLV is favored by 5.5 points, 61.5 points to play the game. They're going to be playing a really game New Mexico Lobos. I was really wishy-washy on this one. I was back and forth. I Still want to take New Mexico State or New Mexico, but my brain is telling me take UNLV at home. I'm going with the Rebs. The panel's going with the Rebs. I think the Rebs cover, but man, they just barely cover. I would say that 6 points is going to have to be what they use to cover. But look for a game this week. It's so unfortunate this game's not televised, and it really pisses me off that it's not televised. You can go to the Mountain West app. Your microphone's not down. I just had to read your lips. So
It's on the Mountain West app, or if you're like me, just watch on YouTube.
Anyways.
Sorry, I don't condone piracy.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Anyways. Hunter, your thoughts on this game? UNLV hosting New Mexico?
Rate of play gives them a significant advantage. They're going to run a lot of plays. Dan Mullen, play big, score a lot of points. It's going to be a lot of fun. Their defense won't stop New Mexico. It won't really matter. It's going to be fun.
All right. Our number 16 game of the week happens at 2:30 p.m. on CBS. That's the... Whatever, I'm not even going to say. I'm going to say something stupid here. From SECU Stadium in College Park, Maryland, we have the number 2 Indiana Hoosiers versus the Maryland Terrapins. Indiana's a 21.5-point favorite, 50.5 points to play this game. Does Indiana stub their toe this week, or do they keep their winning ways going?
I mean, as much as I wanted to pick Maryland, I just can't.
Late season Loxley. Late season Loxley, you just don't believe.
I just don't believe in late season Loxley.
Yeah, Kurt Cignetti's just so good. I don't know.
Not that I don't like Kurt Cignetti or Indiana. I mean, I picked Indiana to win. But
the whole panel picked Indiana to win. I think America's picking Indiana. I think the only people picking Maryland are probably Mike Loxley and Mike Loxley's burner account. I don't see how anybody would pick Maryland in this game.
It'd be great if they won because that'd be such a shakeup to college football. But
I mean, we're talking like Fernando Mendoza. I mean, like I hated him at Cal because he really busted some of my picks last year. I love him at Indiana because he just keeps on winning. Google him. Yikes. But Indiana's defense is so good, too. They create turnovers just left and right. They really punished UCLA last week.
Well,
I'm going to Indiana. Panel's going to Indiana. Hunter's going to Indiana. I think that's all we need to talk about on that one, right?
He wins. Google him.
We're going to turn the page. Our number 17 game of the week, it's a rivalry game. It's the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. It happens at 2:30 p.m. on ABC from Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. That's featuring the number 5 University of Georgia taking on the unranked Florida Gators with their new head coach. UGA is a 7.5-point favorite, which is kind of surprising for a team playing a team that just got rid of their old coach. Now they're playing their new coach. Vegas has 50.5 points to play the game. I took Georgia. Hunter took Georgia. America's taking Georgia. Lindsay and Jude also took Georgia. Hunter, what do you think about this game, bud?
Oh, man. Well, one team fired their coach. Their quarterback's going to hit the transfer portal, and they're going to lose everything. The other team is Georgia. I'm going to pick Georgia because they don't have all those issues, and also Kirby Smart doesn't really lose this game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beatdown. I'm going with the dogs all the way. Oh, they're favored by 20?
Google.
Yeah, I mean, I think Georgia wins. It's probably going to be like 35-0. It's going to be a beatdown. I don't really see how Florida gets a win in this one. Just don't.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of players allegedly at Florida heading to other places.
Anyway,
on to our number 18 game of the week. That features the number 13 Texas Tech Red Raiders taking on the Kansas State Wildcats at 2:30 p.m. on Fox from Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. The Red Raiders are a 7.5-point favorite. Vegas has 51.5 points to play the game. I took Texas Tech. Jude took Texas Tech. Lindsay took Texas Tech. We had a sole outlier here take the Kansas State Wildcats. Hunter, why did you take the Wildcats?
As much as I wanted to take Texas Tech because friend of the show, Cam Dickey, is their running back and a great one at that. And he was a great player at Crockett High School, probably the greatest ever come from there.
Greatest player, Crockett.
He took them to 9 wins. And if you look up the stats, he was the team. It was him.
He got a playoff win in literally he got the win.
He got the win.
He got the win.
Anyway.
I haven't
tell.
You know the story. Or you know what I'm about to say. So we have a chance. We could probably get Cam on the show. We're going to try to do it whenever he's got like an off weekend and he's got a little downtime. We're going to bring him on. We'll try to bring him on as long as the schedule lines up. He's a great kid. He's got a great family, like I've said in the past. But anyways, when he was at Crockett, they had a playoff game. Now you got to understand, Crockett is awful. They don't win nothing. They have one win in 2 years since he's left, right? So they're in this playoff game. He throws a touchdown. He scores a punt return or a defensive touchdown, and then he blocks the other team's extra point. They won 14-13. He scored all the points, and he stopped the other team from scoring. It's just amazing. So look for Cam Dickey, Texas Tech, to have a big weekend, and I'm excited about it. Hunter, why are you taking Kansas State? You think your mic's down or your mic's up? You think the quarterback turnover is going to be – who's quarterbacking Texas Tech this week? Is Behren Morton back this week?
It's supposed to be Behren Morton. I'm not really a fan of a quarterback coming off an injury, coming off of he held him out, so we don't want to get him hurt more. I don't like that kind of talk. I know today's college football is a little bit different. Just lie. Say that he was hurt still, but whatever. I think that the momentum that K-State has built over the last few weeks, getting back on the winning streak, this is a tough game. Tech doesn't really win in Manhattan. In fact, I'd venture to guess they haven't won in Manhattan in a while. I'm just going to go with K-State. They're my preseason Big 12 winner. I'm not going to shy away from them now, even with the adversity they faced. Go with K-State.
Well, I would say this: if I was in college athletics and they said, "Oh, we want you to play a game in Ireland," I'd be like, absolutely not.
No,
not a chance. There's no way I would go, because if you look at the stat line from every team, it's like 55% of the teams that open the season in Ireland have a sub-winning record. The fact that Kansas State and Iowa State are just on the, either over 500 or around 500, look at, I mean, Iowa State's falling apart right now. I mean, and Kansas State was so bad at the beginning of the season. NCAA football, or NCAA, I have 3 things I want. Number 1 is every game should be televised, including Hawaii. Number 2 is get rid of this awful Ireland game. We're not playing any overseas game. This is college football. If Ireland wants to see college football, they come to America, right?
Yeah.
And then third is, can we please get rid of conference officials and just have NCAA officials?
Yeah.
Just NCAA officials. Can we please get rid of conference officials? Those are my 3 things. If I was king of college football, these are the 3 things I would do. I would look at Ireland and I would say, never again. I would say to the officials, conference alignment, gone. Kevin Marr, you're fired.
One more thing with Cam Dickey, because I just remembered it. He played all his teams in his senior year. He played all of Crockett's snaps, not just offense, not just every single one. Special teams, defense, offense. He played
carried the water bucket out to the field. Put towels on the bench.
He led the team in tackles, interceptions, fumbles created, fumbles recovered, touchdowns thrown, touchdowns ran, yards passing, yards rushing.
Uniforms.
If you know anything, teeth brushed, grass mowed. If you know anything about Texas high school football, you know that Crockett is the worst school in the city of Austin, which is saying something.
Well, it's not the worst, but the schools, you can live here and not know some of the schools they're better than.
Yeah, he won, and they won 9 games with him. They've won 1 game in 2 years since he's left. He's a great player and transformational for that program, who now is back to where they belong, and that's stinking.
And he's got his own commercial too, which is pretty cool.
There you go. Good for him.
Look him up. He's going to do big things. We're proud to know him. So.
Yep.
All righty. With that said, we're moving to our number 19 game of the week, and that features the Pittsburgh Panthers traveling a long damn way to play an ACC team. I mean, an all-coast conference team. Pittsburgh's traveling to take on Stanford. This game happens at 2:30 p.m. on the ACC network from Stanford Stadium in Stanford, California. It's got to be a peach of an area. I know somebody that kind of lives in the area. He could probably attest to that. It's got to be beautiful weather, nice scenery, clean. Air probably smells fresh there. Pitt's favored by 14.5 points. Well, I mean, you can go to the game for $8. That's American. That's not California dollars. That's American dollars.
Yeah, but
$8.
I guarantee you can't
afford to drive, park, fly there. Yeah, hotel. Yeah, no, that's all out of the question. Pitt's favored by 14.5 points. Vegas is 51.5 points to play the game. Jude Hunter and Lindsay all took Pittsburgh. I think y'all are just looking at the line here. I'm going with general luck. I'm saying Stanford wins the game. Frank Wright, Gil Branson. I don't know. Every time I pick against Stanford, they win. Every time I pick Stanford, they lose. I'm throwing darts in the dark here. I'm going Stanford. Hunter.
I mean,
I know that ever since Pittsburgh changed their quarterback, they went with the true freshman and kicked the other guy to the curb. They're like, hey, you can hold the clipboard, but get the fuck off get off the field. Yikes. Get the French toast off the field. Hunter and I talked about this. We have like a little side thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Glorious Richie. I ain't never coming home. Take it easy.
Yeah. Matt Henschel has been great for Pitt. He's made it to where Pat Narduzzi isn't so Pat Narduzzi, which is to say stinking at big games. But we'll see with this one. It's not a big game. So the biggest thing is that I looked at this game. I think it's going to be closer than the line because of all the travel. I wanted to pick Stanford because of all the travel, but Stanford still stinks, absolute stinkiness. So I'm going to roll with the Panthers and Pat Narduzzi, which saying that out loud makes me sad myself.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Stanford. I just think the Cardinal and general luck are going to be too much. That's where we're going to stand. All righty, Hunter. Our number 20 game of the week features another all-coast conference game. Oh, my gosh. What do you think? What do you think air travel alone, this conference? Do you think they lead the universe in air travel here?
They have to.
Number 16, Virginia travels from the Atlantic coast to the Pacific coast at 2:45 p.m. on ESPN2 to take on the Cal Bears at Cal Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, California. Got to be another peach of a spot to go to, right? It's got to be a peach of a spot.
So it's like right next to Stanford.
I mean, got to be a peach of a spot. $36 you can go watch this game, but it costs you about $3 million to do anything else. Now, believe it or not, Virginia's favored by 5.5 points in this game. 52.5 points to play the game. I want to take Virginia so bad here, but my brain's going, I don't like the travel. I don't like the 6.5 hours of travel that Virginia's having to do to go play Cal. A game Cal team. Cal's not bad. They're a decent team. They can run the ball. They can play good defense. They got a solid passing game. Virginia, great team. Tony Elliott resurrected everything. I mean, he has undone so many wrong things. Virginia also had kind of some really bad, unfortunate luck over the last few years. And I think that Tony Elliott really should be probably a Coach of the Year candidate, considering they're ranked in the top 15. And this guy was having arguments and kicking players off the team on the sideline of games last year.
It took kicking those guys off to get good. It took getting rid of those guys.
I mean, like his first year there, they had players get murdered on a team bus by a former teammate. I mean, this is like, seriously.
Yeah.
He should be nominated at least. He should at least be an honorable mention at bare minimum for Coach of the Year for what he's done. You can't look at their record and anything else. You have to look at everything. Take everything and move it into one sphere and go like, has Tony Elliott just improved this team leaps and bounds?
I absolutely think so.
I mean, he let a quarterback walk that's having a tremendous season at UNLV, but he did that because he needed to make the team better. I mean, it's not like he's a bad player. It was a bad fit with those two. I want to cheer for Virginia, but man, I don't like the travel. I just hate the travel.
Yeah.
I'm going with Cal.
pick-
Hunter's going Virginia.
I picked Cal. I was thinking
Oh,
about
you did pick
changing it.
Cal. Lindsay and Jude picked Virginia. That's why. Yep.
I was thinking about changing it, but I really thought to myself, and I thought the key difference in this game, and I've been waiting all year to talk about this kid, Jaron Keavea Sagapolte. I may have gotten that wrong. JKS, quarterback for Cal. You talk about guys that are high-ranked 5 stars as true freshmen, and some guys play well early, some guys play poorly early. This guy plays great. As a true freshman, he has full command of Brian Harson's offense, which is saying something.
We've seen it here.
He will. I think that his command of the offense, Cal's ability to play well behind him, will lead them to a strong victory over Virginia. It's gonna be a close-fought game. It'll be a close run, but I think that they'll pull it out.
Pat Paulson says Stanford is pretty nice. Berserkly, not so much. I like the Berserkly. Solid. All right, Hunter. Our number 21 game of the week features, man, it's got to be one of my favorite teams with one of my favorite players. The number 8 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets travel to Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina to take on the Wolfpack at NC State. This game happens at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN2. Georgia Tech's a 6.5-point favorite. Vegas has 58.5 points to play the game. Man, can we get some Haynes for Heisman love going into this game? Haynes for Heisman. Guy, he had there's a great article about somebody saying he's the toughest player that anybody's ever seen. And if you watch him play, he's like your blood and guts warrior. Haynes King. Got to remember this name. He may never play a snap of NFL football, but there ain't a guy in the NFL that's tougher than this guy. Haynes King. Got to think about that. I took Georgia Tech. Hunter took Georgia Tech. Lindsay and Jude also took Georgia Tech. Even though NC State had a nice win last week, we're all going Georgia Tech. What do you think, Hunter?
I mean, it's just one of those things where people talk about it. They said it for another team. I don't agree with their statement on that, but I agree with the statement for this. If someone told me that no matter what you think, Georgia Tech is the toughest team mentally and physically in college football, maybe in all of football, I would believe it. They are the toughest team in all of football. And it's because of their coach, and Brent Key is one tough SOB, and because Haynes King is one tough SOB. And they go out there and they play a brutal form of football for 60 minutes, and they really just wear teams out. They make teams quit from every position does it. It's not, they don't need to put points on the board to get you down. They make you quit by punching you in the face and punching you in the face some more until you give up. And that's what I love about Georgia Tech. Everything about them is aggression and toughness. And it's what they're supposed to be. It's what Paul Johnson had going, and they lost it for a bit. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad to see Georgia Tech's back in the saddle like they are.
Speaking of quitters, our number 22 game of the week features the number 18 Oklahoma Sooners at the number 14 Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee's favored by 2.5 points. Vegas says 55.5 points to play the game. The panel's taking Tennessee. And, well, I watched Texas smash Oklahoma to pieces in Dallas. I would expect Tennessee. This game's happening at 6:30 at night. They're going to hear a lot of the Rocky Top playing. And Oklahoma's going to get smashed.
Rocky Top. Ooh, Rocky Top 10.
Tennessee's favored by 2.5. I say 2.5 touchdowns is what Tennessee wins by. I have seen nothing out of. You put any pressure on John Mateer and he crumbles like a sandcastle. I mean, he's terrible. He's terrible under pressure. Under pressure, he goes from when he has no pressure in his face, he's a great pocket passer. But when you put a little bit of pressure in his face, he starts to shake. When you put a tremendous amount of pressure, he falls apart. He gets rid of the ball. Can't handle the pressure. He's a quitter.
I mean, it's something that I saw not against Texas. It came up in the Texas game as well. But John Mateer, when there's pressure up the middle, will float out of the pocket. And it's something, if you know anything about quarterback play and coaching, it's extremely frustrating to watch. You have to work through the pocket. You can't float out. Unless your name is Lamar Jackson, you cannot float out of the pocket. He didn't even float out of the pocket. He works through it. Different point.
No, I watched the game. He climbed the pocket tonight. Was just killing the Dolphins. I mean, when he climbed the pocket, the tight end was wide open. Yeah.
But if there's any quarterback in all of football athletic enough to float out of the pocket, it's him. He's the only one.
Yeah. Maybe Josh Allen. Maybe.
maybe, but it's just one of those things where I just don't. If you aren't that athletic, don't do it. John Mateer's not that athletic, and he has accumulated a lot of hits so far in the SEC. Tennessee's defensive line is one of the best in the SEC, one of the best in the country. They're going to get a lot of sacks. They're going to go after Mateer, and Oklahoma can't really run the football to tone down that pass rush. And I don't really see how they get out of this game without catching a lot of points on their heads. So I'm going to go with Tennessee by a lot, not because I dislike Oklahoma, but because I think Tennessee is going to attack them in the same ways that Ole Miss did, and Oklahoma won't be able to get away with trying to run the quarterback. I just don't know that he has the health to do it at this point.
I just the crowd's going to be just raucous,
and the crowd, you got kind of owned by Ole Miss at home. You're going to Rocky Top at night. I don't love it for Oklahoma.
It's going to be louder than the Cotton Bowl. This is going to be the loudest game you've played in so far.
Other than the Cotton Bowl.
I mean, it's going to be louder than the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, because you're going to have 100,000 tenor seats.
Yeah, at least it's 50-50 at the Cotton Bowl. At Tennessee, it's
kickoff.
Your Neyland Stadium is going to be loud.
When we drove by it, and it was loud. We drove by it and heard the stadium.
We did. I forgot all about that. That was awesome.
Yeah. We heard the stadium. We drove by it and heard the stadium in the car.
Yeah, with the radio on, by the way.
Yeah.
Listening to a completely different game. Oh, man. All right. That brings us to our number 23 game of the week. I don't know how this always works out. So the way I look at it is I just look at the schedule and I start at the earliest game, whether it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday game. And then I just go from the time it starts, I just go down the list, right? So USC I've picked at the 22, 23, 21 spot several times throughout the season, and that's been the rank they've been. The problem is every time I pick them, they get beat. Every time I put them in, whenever they're 23 USC at our number 23 game of the week, they lose that game. So 23 USC is traveling to Lincoln, Nebraska at 6:30 p.m. on NBC to take on the Cornhuskers at Memorial Stadium. USC is a 4.5-point favorite. Vegas is 59.5 points to play the game. I want to take USC really bad in this game. But for some reason, we talked about it last week off of air, talking about Nebraska's quarterback and how much of a game-changing difference he is and how he's the best thing that they have and everybody else around him is just kind of USC's got a lot of nice weapons, but I don't know. Just something tells me to take Nebraska. I think Nebraska wins this game. I think it's going to be close no matter what, but I like Nebraska. Hunter, you and Jude are taking USC, and I bet you probably could speak for Jude on this one. Why are you taking USC?
Well, I'm not going to throw as many things up there, but I'll hit this one for Jude. Hopefully he's watching. V is for victory. Jaden Mayava is going to
You can't spell SEC without S and C.
S and C, yeah. But Jaden Mayava, he's gonna have a great game. The Riley air raid is gonna really come alive. And the biggest X factor of this game for me, I just looked up to confirm. It has been 28 straight games against ranked opponents that Nebraska has not won. Their coach, Matt Rule, has lost 18 straight games against ranked opponents since his time at Nebraska and Baylor. I don't think it changes playing a talented, explosive USC team, especially one that got a big win against Michigan, a Michigan team that, by the way, whooped Nebraska's butt. I'm going to stick with USC.
Yikes.
I think that they get it done.
The smart person would say, hey, Cass, you probably want to change your pick to USC. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with Nebraska. You know why? Because they're due one. They're owed. Oh, the streak's gonna continue. Oh no! Why did I pick Nebraska?
You could change.
Doug Schmidt, this is for you. I'm picking Nebraska. I'm sticking with my pick. Hunter just gave me the vital information that should tell me to run, not jog, not fast.
She has a tattoo of a dagger on her arm.
Don't play cards with a guy whose name's the same as the city. Don't do it, Kaz. I'm rolling Nebraska. Go Huskers.
It's a stripper with a last name that ends in IGH. It's a stripper with a name that ends in IGH.
Any woman named Ashley. Run. Don't walk, run.
Oh, man.
The smart thing would be to take USC right here, just to cut bait and bail and take USC. I can't do it. I have to take Nebraska. I'm committed now. Jude, I'm sorry. This probably guarantees victory, though, for Jude. So, you're welcome. All right, Hunter. With that said, that brings us to our number 24 game of the week, featuring the number 19. Let me say it. Number 17. Let me ring that out one more time. The number 17 Cincinnati Bearcats traveling to Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah, to take on the number 24 Utah Utes. This game's at 9:15 p.m. on ESPN. Utah's a 10.5 point favorite. Vegas is 54.5 points to play this game. Hunter, if you told me Cincinnati won this game, I wouldn't disbelieve you. I think that Cincinnati is a hell of a good team. I don't know how their coach has done it, but he's done it. Utah's a hell of a good team. This is going to be a physical game. I think the points, they probably go over on this one. I know that Morgan Scaley defense doesn't really give up a lot of points, but I think Cincinnati can score points against Utah. I like Utah to win this game, but not by a lot. I don't know they cover that 10.5. I would say take the over, though. Hunter, what are your thoughts on Jeff Satterfield in Cincinnati?
Scott Satterfield.
Bearcats. Jeff Satterfield, Jeff Saturday, Scott Satterfield. Look,
anyway,
I've taken too many bumps to the head, okay? Obviously, I took Nebraska. No,
I've been in deep thought about this game. I picked Cincinnati originally. I said, maybe I'm feeling Utah. So what I did is I went and I had some Skyline chili. What?
I had one beer. I had two beers.
I watched a little Cincinnati highlights. What? I thought to myself, man, does their professional football team have an indoor practice facility? What? The answer to all those was, why in the fuck am I picking Cincinnati to win this game? It's in Rice-Eccles Stadium. Kyle Whittingham doesn't lose to teams that are coached by Scott Satterfield. I'm going with the Utes. I'm changing my pick. Going with Utah.
All right. So the panel's taking Utah here. I got to make that switch here. What? Stone Cold. What?
What?
All right. Before I give you all the final and 25th game, I gotta set the record here. All right. So this next game is worth 3 wins. So if you get it right, it's great. It's 3 wins. If you don't, you're gonna be at a 3-win deficit. And I'll just let everybody know. Last week, 3 wins was the difference between first place and last place. That's why I went with the 3 wins. So last week, Hunter had 17 out of 24. Jude had 14 out of 24. I had 15 out of 24. Lindsay had 14 out of 24. So the difference between first and last was 3 wins. With that said, the number 25 and final game of the week features those Hawaii Rainbow Warriors traveling to CEFCU Stadium in San Jose, California to take on the San Jose State Spartans at 9:30 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. That's right, folks. You heard it here. The Bows are on TV. Can you believe it? I can believe it. Yes, finally. Unfortunately, we can't get UNLV on TV this week, but we got the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors on taking on the San Jose State. I hope it's Spartans. It could be Trojans. I don't know. Whatever. You get
the San Jose State Spartans.
I did say Spartans. There we go. All right.
You did. I'm just making sure we were on the same page.
San Jose State's favorite by 1.5 points. Vegas is 56.5 points to play the game. I'm taking Hawaii. You know why? Because I've been a Hawaii truther the whole year, and I'm not getting off the Hawaii train, even though there's probably no trains in Hawaii. You can't take a train to get to Hawaii, and if you did, well, you'd be swimming with the fishes.
I have not found a train here yet.
I'm going with the Bows. They're not going to let me down. Their quarterback, he's not real tall. But he doesn't have in height. He makes up for in not height. He's fast. He can throw the ball. He's good. I don't know. I'm reaching here.
What he doesn't have in height, he doesn't make up for in height. Okay.
Hey, it's late. I'm going Hawaii. Jude and Lindsay are going San Jose. Now, look, I can't go too far against San Jose State because I got one of my favorite coaches of all time, and Coach Ken. Right, Coach Ken. We love Coach Ken here. Hunter and I both love Coach Ken. We think he's a tremendous coach. I like Coach Chang. I think Coach Chang's a hell of a good coach. He's got a good mentor. June Jones is a phenomenal coach. These are two coaching trees that I'm a huge fan of. I love both these coaching trees here. I like Hawaii just a little bit more. I've been to Hawaii true through the whole year. Hunter can attest to that. I've been on the Hawaii train the entire season. So I'm going to stick with the Bows. Hunter, you're going with the Bows. Jude and Lindsay, you're going with the Spartans. And I don't know why Jude's going with the Spartans because it looks like the Trojans, right? He's told me this before. I know this for a fact. So, Hunter, 3 wins.
3 wins.
3 wins.
I've made this decision because I walked outside and I saw the Molokai and I said, "What?" I saw the Pacific Ocean and I said, "What?" I walked around the town I live in and I thought, "What?" I drove to Honolulu. I said, "What?" I looked at the Ching and I said, "What?" I had myself a Kona beer and I said, "If an island this beautiful, you took me away from it to go to San Jose to play a football game. So I'm gonna stop a mud hole in their candy ass." I'm going with the Bows.
What? How come you didn't do that during the UNT pick?
I just didn't have it thought up. I've been thinking about this for a good few minutes.
I mean, he had UNT though. I mean, he played football.
And yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the show for the week. Like I said, go check us out on Instagram. You'll get to see what I was doing this week. I'll give you a little preview. I got to go to Texas State game, and I got some field level access. And I tell you what, after standing on the field, I could have played. All right, I looked like I could have played, okay? But we all know that I both lack strength and ability and speed. Not only was I weak, I was slow. No, as slow as untalented. But no, it was a very cool experience. Go check it out on Instagram at WideRideCFB. I got to go on the field. I got to take a little bit of video. I'm going to try to put a little short together on some of the stuff I saw. Although the game didn't go that well, it was an amazing experience. I'd like to go to another game at some point. I think Hunter's going to try to go to a Hawaii game next week and try to give us a similar experience, which is super cool like that. And it got me thinking, I go, if we could do these games, maybe we should try to get out and get to a few more games down the road. So I have a plan for next season coming up. I know what I'm going to do. I've got kind of an idea. I'll kind of leak a little bit right now. There's some Division 3, D3 schools around us that are semi, national championship caliber. So we'll try to sneak out to one of their games next year. Definitely want to get back to a UT game. Definitely want to get back to a Texas State game, and maybe get down to San Antonio, go check out an Incarnate Word game. You like how I got that, didn't you?
Yeah. Perked up. Yeah.
But I'm trying to go hit some of the lesser known things. But maybe one day I'll get to go see a Secretary Cups game, even though playing at a baseball stadium is my absolute least favorite thing on the planet.
One day we'll go to Army Navy.
Yeah, as long as they're not playing it in Yankee Stadium.
I think they're playing at Baltimore for the next few years.
Well, unless they're playing in Honolulu, we're kind of shit out of luck. They could. We could talk them into it. Huge naval base.
Yeah. No.
Is the Navy base there big?
They're not playing at a practice field. Just be honest.
It's like the Hawaii Bowl, but better.
It's like Burger Stadium. It's like if I built the Burger Stadium in the year 20 and 22.
The Cowboys and the Raiders played a preseason game at Burger Stadium, son.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah, Cowboys had won a Super Bowl. They may have won a Super Bowl that year.
Well, maybe they need to go practice at freaking Burger Stadium.
Well, it'd be the only good game there. Ugh.
You don't have to be that cutting, okay? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I get
Look, both of our high schools have lost to Lake Travis. Okay, both. Don't feel too bad.
Yeah, but your high school at least only has one loss. Mine has 3.
No, they got 4 actually.
Yeah,
they got 4. Yeah. And Anderson's undefeated, by the way.
Yeah, I don't care. Anderson stinks, I guess. Maybe. I don't. Oh, no. My high school, who's full of kids who are soft and weak now, aren't as good as the one year that we had a bunch of kids that played together for 8 years before we all got to high school. We literally played football together every year since we were 5 years old to the time we were 18. Of course, we were at least better than bad.
It was always nice walking in there, go look at the other team and saying you have no idea what's about to happen to you.
The best one was we played
the playoff game against Bryan.
Against Spring.
No, Spring.
It
was in Bryan.
It
was in Bryan.
Yeah. We played Spring, not Westfield, but Spring and Houston.
I think you went against Tyler Guyton, to be honest with you. Isn't that where Tyler Guyton played high school football?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
he may have been playing left tackle. I played the majority of the second half in that game. That's how bad we were whooping their ass. We came out and we were in the film room and on defensive line because that's what I played. If you want to kind of know what we were at, we were a 6A high school in Texas with a 155-pound defensive end. I may have been 155.
How tall were you?
That 5'10", you know.
With shoulder pads on and helmet on, you were 5'10" and 155 with
maybe 155, maybe
with pads on, right? With pads.
Yeah, that's where we were, and I was like the rotational second string defensive end. Doesn't matter. We weren't very good on defense. Don't worry about that part.
That game of war.
We came out in the first. I don't know if it was the first play, but it was like in the first couple plays, we scored a deep passing touchdown. And then we stopped them on defense and quickly realized that we were about to kick their ass. It's one of those games
is a ranked team in the state too.
This is a team that was like, they should play for the state championship. And we were like, we're coming in there like, all right, like this is gonna be a tough game. And we got out there, we're like, we're gonna. I was on the field for the majority of the second half, shit talking a future NFL left tackle. I was making fun of him. Because he couldn't, they were so out of it. I had sacks in that game. I had like 8 sacks my entire senior year. I had 3 of them in that game. That's how bad they were. That's how outclassed they were.
I will give you this: for your production per your playing time was pretty high. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, because usually the backup quarterback was also in for the other team, and he couldn't read the field, so it's kind of simple. You're just like,
That was the starter still in the game. They played their starters the whole game.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think the starter played college football too.
He could have. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if he played quarterback, but I know he played college football.
In any case, if you are a big fan of Spring High School out of Houston in the year 2016, we whooped your ass. Go Dogs.
You gonna start barking?
No, we didn't do that. We held our pinkies together like anyway.
Nice.
Why is the show still on? Oh, stop.
Oh, so man. You only made fun of y'all like all the time. As parents.
Oh, we know. Well, I did. You know, it's better than going to Crockett.
Yeah, I mean, you do that at Crockett, you get stabbed. Probably. All right, we're going to end it here. Hunter, you got anything to say before we go?
Go Navy, beat North Texas, and eat 'em up cats. Fire Dexter McCoyle.
All right, Jude would say, You can't spell the SEC without S&C. V is for victory. Lindsay would say you can't spell college football without a C, an O, an L, another L, an E, a G, an E, an F, a couple O's, a T, a B, A, and a couple more L's.
Or a ball gag in your mouth.
Oh, please don't bring that up. I'm going to say this to everybody out there. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. And remember, the team that scores the most points always wins the game.